Today we have the New England Patriots. As always, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening at or viewing at. If you see this clip on TikTok or Instagram, make sure to go follow over there. The New England Patriots last year were 8-9, and as we know, this division has only gotten better this offseason with the Jets getting Aaron Rodgers and all the additions that they made. The Bills are the Bills still, and the Dolphins are the Dolphins. So very tough division for the Patriots to be successful in. When we're looking at the offense here, let's start in the quarterback room, obviously, with Mac Jones. Running back wise, Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott. He was an addition this offseason. I think people are kind of sleeping on that addition. I think he's going to get a lot more touches than what people think. He never really got enough touches for the Cowboys for my liking. I think he should have gotten way more touches there. And Ramondre Stevenson is a stud back who started as RB2 last year and kind of develops into an RB1. So that's a running back room to definitely keep an eye on. When looking at the wide receivers, Devontae Parker is probably their wide receiver 2. It's hard to tell. Juju Smith-Schuster is there as well. He's probably your wide receiver 1. And their offensive line is definitely a bottom 10 offensive line in football, which kind of sucks if you're the Patriots because you have 2 running backs that can really get after it. So they're really going to have to try their best to be better in that area of football this year. I didn't mention the tight ends. Hunter Henry is still there. He's obviously a big-time tight end at times. And then Mike Gesicki is also there. So Mac Jones might be using the tight ends quite a bit, along with Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Kendrick Bourne. Overall, I don't hate the offense. I think kind of like some other teams, their wide receiver room is not great. But again, like other teams that we talked about, the Falcons, I'm thinking of with like Kyle Pitts and his situation with the wide receivers. Not so much what the Panthers have going on, but teams that don't have star wide receivers but have pretty solid tight ends are going to be just fine because you mix them all in together. You don't really need a top end wide receiver if you have tight ends that can also produce at a high level. As we've seen, not saying that I was going to say, as we've seen with the Kansas City Chiefs, not saying that Hunter Henry is like Travis Kelce, but you get what I'm saying. Moving on to the defense, for some reason, Bill Belichick always gets this defense top 10 in the league, and I expect the same this year. They don't have the big names like McCourty on this defense anymore, but Matthew Judon is still there. Lawrence Guy is still there. Jonathan Jones, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, all these guys are still there. I think they're going to be a top 10 defense again. In fantasy, probably a top 5 defense. I just don't see a world where this team is a bottom half defense in the NFL. It's just not the case. But like I said, they were 8-9 last year. And kind of looking at their schedule here for this year, as I said, it's going to be very tough with this division. But they start week 1 at home versus the Eagles, and I have a sneaky win here versus the Eagles to start off the year. Week 2 also at home versus the Dolphins. I have them winning this one as well. 2 very tough matchups to start the year, but they're both at home. I'm just going out on a limb, and I'm saying they're going to win both of them. This is when it gets kind of tricky. Week 3 at the Jets, I have a loss, and then week 4 at the Cowboys, I have a loss. Week 5 at home versus the Saints, a W. Week 6 at the Raiders. You guys know how I feel about the Raiders this year. I have a loss there for the Patriots. Week 7 at home versus the Bills. Another tough victory. I have them beating the Bills there at home. Week 8 is at the Dolphins. I have them losing this one. So they don't play the Dolphins anytime during the second half of the year. They play both games versus the Dolphins in the first 8 weeks of the season. I have them splitting with the Dolphins. A win at home and a loss on the road. Back to the schedule, though. Week 9 versus the Commanders at home. I have a win here. And then week 10 is in Germany versus the Colts. I also have a win here. So a couple of good wins there against lesser competition before you go into the bye in week 11. And this is when it gets really difficult, especially the last 4 weeks of the season. Week 12 at the New York Giants. I have a loss here. Winnable game, but I have a loss. Week 13 versus the Chargers at home. I have a win here. Another sneaky win. My reasoning behind this is going to be winter. Patriots are used to this probably brutal weather in New England that they're going to be receiving. The Chargers being from Los Angeles, California, it's just I don't love the Chargers in that matchup. I have the Patriots winning that one. Week 14 at the Steelers. Sneaky tough matchup, but I have a win here as well. And I'm giving them these wins because these last 4 weeks, I have them losing each week. Week 15 at home versus the Chiefs, I have a loss. They could win that though, but I have a loss there. Week 16 at the Broncos, a loss. Another winnable game, but a loss. Week 17 at the Bills, a loss. And then week 18 at home versus the Jets, a loss. So I gave them those wins earlier in the season to kind of make up for what I think those last 4 weeks will be. Um, Overall, it's a pretty dang tough schedule. If you talk about the Eagles and obviously their division, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Raiders, um, Commanders and Colts are kind of whatever, but then you get the Giants and the Chargers. That's a very tough schedule this year. But overall, I have them going, and I think I had them at 8-9 again. Yes, I have them in 8-9 again. Well, let me make sure here because I thought I had maybe seven. Nope, that's eight. 8-9 is what I have the New England Patriots for this year. The same exact record as last year. I can see them dropping off just a little bit just because of the toughness of the schedule. I could see them probably being I could see them being a 6 or 7 win team, but just part of me just not part of me. I full heartedly believe Bill Belichick finds a way to get these teams going every single year to at least be around that 500 mark, be pushing at the door for the playoffs. Don't think they'll get there. They're going to have to really win some big games in that division and then really upset some people throughout the year. But overall, the offense, I give them like a C plus, a B minus. They're solid, and then defensively, we will see how these guys fill in for McCourty and like these big names that they missed from their defense. But overall, I have the Patriots at 8-9. And next episode, we have the Green Bay Packers, and then we have the Commanders, and I believe the Seahawks after that. And you guys know I'm fired up for the Seahawks episode. But be on the lookout for that, guys. We have a week until the season, a little over a week. So we're going to be pumping out episodes quickly because I think we have like 16 teams remaining. So we're going to pump them out very quickly and get them all out for you guys. So, of course, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening or viewing at. And we will see you guys for the Packers.